A teenager whose parents are the best superheroes in the world starts his superhero high school with no powers. How embarrassing. Take that, Ems.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 137.
Yup.
Yup, indeed.
Yup.
Yup. Welcome again to another week. I believe it is February now. We've made it. It's 2021. We're still moving on.
Somebody was trying to tell me that January seemed like it went on forever, and I was like, "No, it's already February. What happened? What happened,
Yeah,
man?
time keeps on keeping on.
Wibbly wobbly, timely wimely stuff."
Exactly. This week we are talking about the 2005 live-action Disney superhero film Sky High.
Oh my gosh, I almost said Up, and Away because we were comparing them.
That's
last
right.
night.
We were comparing it to the Disney Channel original movie Up, and Away, which is about like the black superhero family, and they're basically like the exact same movie.
are you telling me this wasn't a Disney Channel original movie?
No,
This was not. This
Sky
movie
High
came
out in the theaters.
In theaters.
But Up, and Away was the Disney Channel original,
This-
and they're basically identical.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I saw
Does that warp your whole reality
But
around
Emily,
how
it
much you
used
like
to
it?
come on Disney Channel all the time.
Well,
Right.
I've never seen this movie. I'll just start with my first impression.
Go for
Go
it.
for it.
I thought this movie was about sports.
What?
I thought this was a sports movie.
Really?
Yes. I've never seen this. I literally, because I was
Oh,
like,
you
Louis,
had
was this
no
on TV?
idea.
I have zero recollection of this at all in my none.
That's so funny.
So I thought it was like a basketball movie or something,
Oh.
and they were shooting sky high. I don't freaking know.
Okay, that kind of makes
so
sense.
I was surprisingly happy when it started with like a comic book entry, and I was like, "Oh, it's about superheroes. Oh, it's about superhero parents.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then I was making the connections. I'm like, "Oh, he's in high school. It's
Sky High.
He goes to Sky High,
Oh.
yeah.
The high school's in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised that this was not what I thought it was, and I kind of thought it was a Disney Channel original movie, not because it was bad,
Right.
but because of the time period, I guess.
Yeah.
But now, once you say that, the effects were better than a Disney Channel original
A
movie.
little
for
bit
sure.
better. Yeah.
Especially like
Yeah.
Fire Kid.
Yeah.
Like that didn't look
Yeah.
Disney Channel.
'Cause it
original.
was what,
You
Team
mean-
Jacob, not Jacob?
You mean War and
Yeah.
Peace? Yeah, a.k.a. Taylor Lautner
Dude.
Jr. or whatever.
Luis was like, "That's Jacob." I'm like, "It's way too young to be Jacob."
But it looks like him.
he, you know what I mean? Like he would be too
It's a different
old.
time period.
Yeah,
It's the
like
same vibes.
Like this is like Shark Boy age.
100%. Oh my god, so funny. Okay, anywho, so I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yes.
Surprised to have enjoyed it because I was not expecting to.
Very nice.
Indeed.
Well, Luis, we'll let you go next because Andre and I have seen this a bunch.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Liked it.
It was cool.
Can you tell them what you said before it started?
No.
When
'cause
I was like, I think it's a sports movie.
oh, I wish it was a sports movie.
He was like,
Uh.
no, man, I wish it was a sports movie. It's just like a dumb superhero thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a dumb superhero movie.
So as
But
we're
no.
watching
What's
it,
weird
What's
is that
wow, I like this.
when I was
Pretty good
younger,
video.
my first impression when I was younger, I was like, this is a stupid movie. Now I'm like, ooh, this is a cool movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
That's interesting. So I have definitely seen this movie quite a few times because it used to come on Disney Channel a lot. I didn't see it in
where was I during that time?
I didn't
Oh, no.
see it in the theater, but I saw it like on Disney Channel.
Probably
'cause
watching Sands of Anarchy.
You know how
It
like
wasn't out in 2000.
definitely not.
What? This is a non-cussing
you know-
episode. Don't make me do cussing
But you
things.
know
That's
how
right.
you watch like a commercial for a movie because they're gonna put it like at 8/7 Central on
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So all of those scenes,
Mhm.
like I remembered. I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, like
For sure.
the commercial or whatever.
Oh,
So but I still really liked it. I mean, some of the powers were really cool. Some of them were really weird.
For
but
sure.
I just like superhero stuff in general. So it was fun. It was like a fun superhero movie. Just like generic, but still pretty good.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it had the Dean in it.
Jim Rash is in this
Stop.
movie.
Stop. Okay, so having seen Dean, what is his name? Dean what?
Dean Pelton. Craig Pelton.
This is all I do.
Pelton. He kept saying
Gating. Gating. If you guys have seen Community, you know what we're talking about.
Best character. Luis hates him, but whatever.
Ding 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 ding.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Anywho, before I saw him, one of the other characters, America Boy or
All American Boy.
All American Boy,
yeah,
AKA Mr. Boy.
Mr. Boy. I looked at Luis and was like, this is exactly like Dean from Community. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, this is Dean from Community. And he's like, I mean, I feel the vibe. And then later,
I didn't say I felt the vibe. I was not convinced.
well, then he comes on screen. I'm like, it's Dean.
It's the Dean.
That's so funny.
So anywho, that made it for me. I was like, oh.
Andre knew as soon as he was that little that little thing, he was all, that's the Dean. I was like, what the heck? How did you already know it was the Dean?
Dude, once you've seen him do that stuff on Community, man.
Yeah.
It must have been the body language.
I recognize that weird little stick body anywhere.
Yeah. Well, Andre, you've been wanting to do this movie for a long time.
That's right.
So how
first
did
impression,
you like it?
I watched this movie a lot when it was on Disney
Did
Channel.
you guys know that Andre likes superhero
I'm
stuff?
a pretty big fan of superhero stuff.
With his Spider-Man mask.
I'm wearing a
And
Spider-Man
his Spider-Man
mask
sweater.
and a Spider-Man sweater. I wonder if I'm wearing a shirt. Oh, it's a Superman shirt. Haha. Okay.
I mean, good enough.
Yeah, so when this movie came out, I don't remember. I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I probably watched it on the Disney Channel.
I'm trying to think, how old was I? If it was 2005, maybe I wasn't watching Disney Channel
I mean,
anymore.
we were like 14.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I think.
Probably.
I was in middle school. Oh, no.
Let's see, when
I
in
was in middle
2005
school,
came
but
out.
I still don't think I was kind of watching.
Came out in the summer, in July of 2005, when I'm not
were
even in school. What was I
definitely
doing?
Yeah, I was definitely watching this movie.
Why was I missing this? So, I watched this movie a lot when I was growing up, and I always liked it. And returning to it for this time, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie is awesome. I'm in awe of how good of an introductory superhero story it is. Like, this feels like the perfect movie. Perfect first superhero movie for like a little kid.
Mm-hmm,
you know?
definitely.
That could get a really good story with plenty of fun little twists in there and
I
a lot of
think
cool
that-
powers. And
I think the overall arching theme of like the bad guy and everything actually held up really well.
yeah.
Like, for it being like technology
It was a good little
driven,
plot,
and I
yeah.
was like, "Ooh, this good."
Mhm.
It made sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
But I have a burning question before we get into this plot for
Okay.
Luis.
Oh.
How did you feel about the chubby speedster?
Oh, you know what? What was I gonna say? I said something about
You said
that.
you liked it. You were like, "I think it's funny that it's chubby."
That he's
Big
chubby.
boy. That's what I wrote in my notes. Chubby speedster.
That's just really.
There was
funny.
an episode. There was a comic book in The Flash where he was chubby.
Oh yeah, like an episode
Luis
of
Flash.
How
just
much
loves
did he have
speedsters.
to be chubby?
I'm like,
Yeah,
didn't you
'cause-
just burn off all your
homie,
calories
you're burning
running
a
that
lot
fast?
of calories when you run like 7,000 miles an hour. You'd think, but he's got
Is
big
he?
bones. He's
Burning calories.
He's
though?
big boned, dude.
Yeah,
He
he
burning
should
no
be.
He
calories.
was running faster than Quicksilver.
Yeah,
He
he's
was,
at-
he
he's
was
at some
running
Quicksilver
fast
speeds.
enough to cut off Fire Dude's oxygen. Okay,
Sure,
so
That's
was
true.
choking.
He was making a little vortex.
I mean, technically, that's not too difficult. We just have to run in a small circle and eventually.
small
the
circle.
oxygen
I hope
will
you
be
guys
Can't wait
can
to-
see
I'm
my
gonna
eye roll
stop
through
asking
the sound.
Luis Speedster questions
It's
now.
ridiculous.
You can.
Can't wait
I'll
to
tell
see
you
Luis
factual
running
stuff.
around Emily in a circle after
getting
the
off your
podcast is
oxygen
over.
Well, what is your favorite kind of superpower, babe?
Well, my favorite superpower of
Like
all
Luis loves speedsters, right? So
right,
like,
right.
what do you love?
My favorite superpower of all time is flight. I love
Flight.
flying. That's my jam.
That's why you like Superman.
I'm a huge Superman fan. I'm always excited whenever Batman can fly for a little bit. If he's put a jetpack on, or if he has like an
Cheating.
extended cape, or Batman Beyond, where he's got like the little jet
Freaking
boots or
throwing
whatever.
money behind him and
Yes.
causing some kind of wind to carry him up. How much money he throws.
Paraglides.
Money fly. yeah. I love flying. I also love like telekinesis and stuff like that, moving stuff with your mind. I like the combo of like, if I'm telekinesis, I'll just pick myself up and I'm out of here. Bye bye. So yeah, that's my favorite kind of.
Okay.
Oh, that's some cheating
superpower.
right there.
That's right.
That's how I
Twofer.
felt about Magneto, like in the
Oh yeah,
in what is that, X-Men?
in X-Men.
Like because he bends and
He's
moves
just a metal bender,
but
yeah.
like he was able to legitimately like fly.
He's
because
like,
he
I
just-
repel myself with the magnetic fields of the earth. It's like, all right.
Peeps, what about like
Whatever
Wonder
you
Woman
say, bro.
flying in that movie? That was just like, what the?
Oh, in 1984.
What the?
Yeah, her spoilers for
And
84.
she was just soaring.
Yeah,
gliding.
she was doing some falling with style in that movie. Some straight up Buzz Lightyear moves in 1984. But she can fly in the cartoons and sometimes in the comics.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In the Justice League cartoon, yeah, she can fly in that.
Well, I forgot about
Well,
that.
speaking of Wonder Woman,
Why
Wonder
she
Woman
need?
was in this movie, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
That's right. Linda
Yeah.
Carter plays Principal Powers, which is very cool. Very cool cameo.
I just read a article that was saying that she wanted her Wonder Woman-ness to be much more overt, and so did the director. But WB was like, "Oh no! Like you need to back it up because
Don't think
that's
so.
copywritten. You can't like say, like she wanted to walk around with a lasso and have
Right.
like the outfit.
That would've been
And they
cool.
were like, "No, you can't
No,
do that."
we're gonna give you one Wonder Woman reference,
Yeah,
and that's
so
it.
she was like, "It's not like I'm Wonder Woman."
yeah, which was
Poor girl.
cool.
Man, she's still looking fine. At
Yeah,
that
man.
Age.
Still.
She looks
rocking
good on
it.
the
2005,
1984
and then
one,
1984,
yeah.
she looks the same.
That's
as
almost
2005.
15 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
15 years ago could either make or break you.
and didn't break
It's
her.
called a Botox.
There's actually a lot of superheroes
Nah, I'm
in
pretty
this
damn-
movie.
Hey, I
Or
am,
who came into superhero.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I am pretty sure she's that one goddess from freaking Wonder Woman land.
That is not what we're talking about right now. So let's wait to
I'm
table
just-
that
I'm-
conversation.
I'm just trying to say that she ain't aging.
oh, you mean
He's
from
talking about
1984.
1984 again.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right,
agree
right.
with you.
I
do agree with what Luis is saying.
Luis is in love with Aphrodite. Okay, that wasn't her name. That wasn't her name. Never mind. I'm trying not to spoil a movie.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, the cast. I just want to say that Miss Layla, Plant Girl.
That's Poison Ivy. That's my girl
yes,
right there.
played by Danielle Panabaker. She goes on to play the Caitlyn in the Flash, which is cool.
Frost,
She's got
Killer Frost.
Yeah, Killer Frost. She's got some ice powers.
So
which is
cool. And I love
dope.
her in that one too.
Yeah.
She's hecka cool.
I
Mary.
don't like that show in general, but she is one
But
of
she's
the better
cool,
characters.
yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her character on that show, and I remember when I was watching The Flash, I was like, this girl's so familiar. What is she from? And it's definitely from Sky High.
And she looks exactly the same.
I really
Yeah.
like any superhero that uses like elemental stuff, like ice, like nature, things like that. So
Earth,
I
Wind, and Fire.
water.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I
The
like
Avatar.
Aquaman. I like things
Elsa.
like that. So she was cool in this one, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I like her.
I like the
I choose to use my powers only for good.
not for violence.
That was so funny. She was like a mini hippie. It was
Yeah.
very cute.
Only use my powers when it's necessary.
She's a vegan.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in this movie, and she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is a comic book
That's
movie.
a good movie.
But then she was also just in Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn and them. She was
Oh,
one
the
is
purple
that?
hair girl?
yeah,
The one that turns into a guinea pig?
no, the Gwen, or the evil one.
Oh, Gwen.
Yes. She was playing Huntress in Birds of Prey, which is pretty cool. And then Kurt Russell, we know him as the dad from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
Yes, we
Ego.
do.
right?
And he totally had the same exact vibe. I was like, I
Yeah.
feel like they typecasted him from this movie and was like, you know what, you're gonna play Ego in this
Yeah.
upcoming movie.
They might have,
Just do the
man.
same
Is it the
exact thing.
same gun?
The
because this was-
pacifier.
No. I'm so sorry. Not literal gun. Like because it said gun films.
It said Gun Films, and this.
Is that like
I
James?
I was confused by that too. I was like, did James Gunn do this movie? But no, I believe Gunn.
a different gun.
Yes, I don't think it's even like
That
his
would've
brother or
been
anything
wild.
like that. He's a producer, Andrew Gunn. Yeah, no, he is no relation to James Gunn, as far as I can tell on IMDb.
Another famousy person in this movie was the nurse. Do you remember
Mhm.
Loris
Mhm.
Leachman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
She just died.
Yes.
Yeah, she was 90.
R.I.P.
Oh, excuse me.
She
yes.
was 94.
She was 94,
Mhm.
and which I thought her power was super sick for
Oh,
being
She had
a nurse. I was
X-ray
like, that's
vision, right?
smart.
I'm like, man, talk about using your talent for your trade, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and she has very cool.
Apparently,
scene
she was
in
in
the
Wonder
movie.
Woman too, like back in the day. I don't know.
Oh,
what
was she?
she
Oh,
played,
back
but-
back in the good old days.
My
Wonder
favorite,
Woman's mother. Apparently,
my favorite actor on this though, Sky High, was the blonde kid. Okay, because
Oh,
he
Zeus.
Dude
was
was a hell of a tall.
so funny, and I
tall,
don't think I've seen
glowy
him in
kid.
anything
What is
except
his
for this.
name?
But I remember him the most vividly from watching this movie
Yeah.
and thinking he was so stinking funny.
I don't know if this is like a bad word since
Nicholas
we're on like a
Braun.
family friendly week. But Louise was like, I
Friendly.
would, okay, the Walt Vault.
Got him.
I don't know. Like, I feel what he was saying, but Louise was like, I just thought that kid was gonna be a douche like the whole time. Like he was waiting for it,
But
he
he's
was
so
Right.
actually,
cool.
like a cute, nice kid.
Very funny, cause like,
He's like, I'm doing it. I glow.
because yeah, he does have that look.
like he's like a
He's got
glow
like the
stick.
sideways
Visor?
Visor, yeah, not a full hat, but a visor.
Ooh,
So
visors.
his yellow highlights could show or whatever. And he's like, bro, I thought I wasn't gonna have any powers before I got on the bus, but it came to me a couple days ago. Boom! And they're like, well, what is your power? He's like, I'm not telling you. He's so confident when he actually shows it off. He's like, check it out. I'm glowing. And they're like, are you sure? And he was like, maybe if you turn off the lights or like cup your hands around your eyes. And look
Yeah,
real
but later
close.
he's all pissed. He's like, you know what? That a boomer's gonna drop his keys in the dark, and he's not gonna be able to find them because I'm not gonna glow.
So funny.
I would totally be his friend.
Hilarious. Yeah, he's played by Nicholas Braun.
I like that guy.
So I thought the entire setup of this movie was just really smart.
Mhm.
So they're in high school, right? And they took like the elements of a normal high school
Mhm.
and moved it into this superhero world, which I
Right.
thought was really cool. So instead of just being like popular or unpopular, it's heroes or
Sidekicks.
sidekicks. Or
Yeah.
What do they call them?
Hero
Hero
support.
support.
Hero
So there's
support.
like a built-in hierarchy to
which is hilarious
the
because
school.
it's like tech support.
The
Yeah,
cheerleader
it's worse
is-
than tech support, dude.
the whole cheerleading team is just one girl
It's one
that
girl.
multiplies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
a
was so
multiple
funny.
man.
And there's like the bullies and stuff, but they're heroes.
They're heroes who might grow up to be villains or heroes that turn into villains, or, you know, something like that.
It's questionable.
Mhm.
But I think that that's very smartly done,
Yeah.
like cinematically,
Mhm.
because then the quote unquote losers are poor like the kids who are going to be sidekicks. But I love that on the first day of school, like pretty much they get hazed into figuring out like which direction they're going.
I told Andre it was like the Sorting Hat, but way worse.
For
Yeah,
sure.
It
it's
was like, what house
power
are you
placement.
in? And also, what I say goes because I'm Boomer. And it looks like every gym teacher you ever had in those short shorts.
It would
Oh,
have been
dude.
extra funny for him to have been the guy who what is that guy's name? The one on Soarin' Over California or Soarin' or whatever. it is.
Oh,
Oh, Patrick.
Patrick
Warburton.
Warburton.
Like, tell me that wouldn't have been funny if
That
it was
would've
him.
been
Yeah,
funny.
that would have been funny.
But it was Bruce
Mean
Campbell who
yeah.
played Ash in The Evil Dead, and he was also in all of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies as like
Sonic
a different character.
Boom.
Sonic Boom.
Louis like, why is his name O?
Yeah, he's relentless at placing these kids in the sidekick era.
The one kid just melts.
He turns into a puddle,
Psychic.
which is like what the guy from the Wonder Twins does every time he changes. He's changed shape to a bucket of water. It's like,
Okay, but I'm
dude.
sorry, the
What's
shape
Wonder
shifting.
Twins?
Oh, you don't remember the Wonder Twins? I guess it's really old. It's like from the 70s, Super Friends, which the Super Friends is basically like the Justice League of the 70s. So it's super old 70s cartoons with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and stuff like that. But then also on the team is the Wonder Twins, and it's a boy and a girl. They bump fists, and the girl says, "Take shape of a fearsome cheetah," and she turns into a cheetah, and then the guy goes, "Take the shape of a waterfall," and he just turns into water. Like, that's all he does
Every time?
every time.
So he has the
turns
worst.
into a bucket of water, he turns into a waterfall, he turns into a wave, he'll be a puddle, he'll do it all.
Well, I thought it was funny that the one
I need to see stuff.
the one girl was like, "I'm a shapeshifter." I was like, "That's so cool."
I know. I was
Well, there
super
was
excited
definitely
about
two
it.
shapeshifters
There was a bunch of
because one
shapeshifters,
turned
yeah.
into a ball and the other one turned into a guinea pig. And I was like, why can't they turn into multiple things?
Yeah. That was kind of sad when she was like, just a guinea pig.
And she was
Not
like,
even like a bunch of guinea pigs. No,
No.
one.
One single guinea pig.
And he's like, sidekick. She's like, bite me. I liked her. She was cute.
Yeah.
She reminded me of MJ in
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
real. Who plays that? Zendaya.
Zendaya.
so
Mhm.
what's the main character's name again?
His name is Will.
Will.
Will Stronghold.
So Will's
Probably my least favorite character.
Yeah.
First off, I don't like that actor's face.
Whoa.
His name
Reese
is.
has that problem with multiple people.
His
Like,
name
I
is
looked at
Michael
this-
Angarano.
I'm like, man, this little person. I was
I
mad.
had to
Dang.
think about the words
But
that came
you
out of
know
his
what,
mouth
though?
either.
You know what though? He was a great character.
He was a good character.
He was a dynamic
Not what I expected.
character. So Will Stronghold has a major problem because he has not hit. I'm going to say he hasn't hit puberty yet. He hasn't gotten his powers right, and his parents are like the most famous superheroes in the world.
Yeah, they're like Superman and Wonder Woman, basically.
basically.
If they were married, yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, so his dad has super strength and his mom flies. And like that's their powers,
They're
you know.
superhero
and
duo.
they're like legendary, the
It's like the Incredibles,
stronghold,
honestly.
yeah.
family,
Commander and Jetstream.
and he ain't got no powers. So
But
he
he-
immediately obviously becomes a sidekick.
He pretends that he has powers though to his parents, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel
how
like-
did they not know?
Yeah,
How did
exactly.
they not know?
Like,
I thought that was so funny. The first scene where like he's getting ready to go to school and he's like trying to bench press and he has like maybe 20s or something on,
Mhm.
and then his dad comes up, so he starts like putting all this super
putting
heavy weight on,
60s on that sucker.
and it looks like a ridiculous amount of weight. And Kurt Russell's like, "Oh,"
Low weight, high rep.
I was like, "Okay."
It's definitely
'cause they
like
can lift-
600
he can
pounds
lift
on
He
that
like
thing.
anything.
picks up like a 40 and is just like holding it like it's a pizza,
Holding
and then
it
he
with
like
one
throws
hand.
it to him. I thought that was very funny.
It was funny.
It was like a piece of foam.
For sure.
So poor Will becomes a sidekick, and so does Layla, even though her powers are amazing.
She refuses to show off her
refuses to
powers.
show them because
Mhm.
she only wants to use them for non-violent acts.
I guess.
She's
I
like
will
a
say,
modern
though, that
hippie.
even though I retract my statement, I disliked the actor the
Oh,
most.
okay.
Like he was my least favorite actor.
Gotcha.
But like he's a good character.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the
he's
character
a really
is fine.
good kid. But like
Exactly
oh,
what I was thinking.
the actor
Right.
is just
Mm,
I don't know, like
that's interesting.
He's sketchy, man.
I-
he's sketchy.
See, when I was watching this movie, I was like, I have to have seen him in something else, but I don't think
No.
I have. I think I just recognize him from this. I mean, he's been in a fair amount of things, a lot of like
His
TV
background
and small characters and stuff. He played Walt Disney on Drunk History on Comedy Central.
Oh.
Yeah, so really small parts. It looks like over the years.
Looks like he would have been in Workaholics.
Oh yeah, he looks like one of those guys. That's true. But
But anywho, I mean he was a good so he has to pretend that he has his powers. He gets on the
to
bus
his parents.
and his friend, like we had said, is like, "Oh yeah, man, did have my powers. Now I got my powers. I wouldn't have got on the bus if my powers didn't show up." And you see him like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And they go straight into the sorting hat ceremony
Mhm.
and get sorted into
all of them are basically sidekicks.
Right. Well, all the main ones.
Oh my
are
gosh.
sidekicks.
Okay. One of the funniest moments though is they're on the bus and the bus driver, what's his name, Gus?
Ron Wilson,
Ron.
driver.
Ron Wilson, bus driver. So he's like so
Ron
funny.
Swanson
But
and all that.
he tells these one people, he's like, move. The stronghold has to sit behind me or whatever, and his girlfriend. And he's like, that's not my girlfriend. Or she says like, he's not my boyfriend or whatever. And then freaking the redhead Larry kid is like, hello,
It's like,
So
well
you're
then,
single.
I'm Larry. and Larry's actually really cool because he's a rock dude.
That's right. He can
he's
turn
like a
into a
Geo
rock
dude,
monster.
honestly.
A Geodude.
Seriously.
He's like the thing.
What's the evolution of a Geodude? The big one,
Graveler.
He's,
He's a
more like a
graveler.
Regirock.
maybe.
Yeah.
More of a Regirock.
But he's like-
tall.
He's literally huge and like immediately a hero.
Right. Hero.
Okay, bye, Larry.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
much every time you see Larry after that, he's lounging as like a
Oh.
super huge.
Larry's chilling to the max.
Michelle just escaped from
goodness.
the podcast, went into my pantry, and pulls out the 30 bags of Flamin' Hots.
She was offered hot chips earlier. She says so. She grabs a whole box. I'll
Well, you
take.
might
I'll
as
take one of
well-
those too.
Yeah, you might as well hand them all
No,
out.
no, no. What you just grabbed, the Fritos. We're not sponsored by Fritos.
Flamin' Hot Fritos.
Those are actually really good.
Flamin' Hot Funyuns. Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
So in the movie, after power placement, they're all in sidekick class, and they meet All American Boy, their teacher, aka Mr. Boy, And he tells them basically that what hero support is, and it's not
Mr.
very
Blunt.
flattering.
Jeez, man.
Good God.
The job of the sidekick is to be like the superhero's little fetching boy or whatever, you know,
Water
like
boy,
yeah.
literally.
When the hero asks you for a knife for his crossbow, then you give them the what did I say? A knife for his crossbow, an arrow for the crossbow.
You give him the knife, the arrow, and the crossbow.
Right, you give it to him because he's the hero and you're the sidekick. It's your
Okay.
job, you know.
And it becomes
Exactly. You don't ask questions. You give them both of those
Right.
odd weapons.
it becomes very clear that he used to be a sidekick for Commander, which is Will's dad.
Right.
And
Oh, it's so
Will
sad.
has zero idea who
Will's
this
like,
guy is.
wait, you were my dad's sidekick? He's like, oh, Commander never mentioned me, Steve.
And he's like, what about your mom? Your mom came in.
He's like,
and
nah,
it's like,
dude.
oh my God, so sad. But I think my favorite, like, little, I don't know what you call it. I don't want to call it a gimmick, but the gimmick of this
Little
movie
moment.
was that he would, but he taught the kids how to, like, jump behind an object and then come out in, like,
quick
costume.
change?
Quick
Yeah.
change.
It's fantastic.
It's very funny.
It's cool because they did that. They used to do that on Batman, the 1960s show. They would
With what's
they would
his
get on the
name?
pole,
Oh.
slide down as Bruce Wayne and you know Dick Grayson or
Uh-huh.
whatever, and then when they get to the bottom, they come out as
I
Batman
didn't
and Robin.
understand the thing on the chalkboard that said "Holy blank blank man," and I was like, I said a bad thing. I said a bad thing. I
Okay,
can't say it.
sure.
You could bleep me, okay?
Okay.
I said,
I
holy
said,
moly.
holy man. And Andre was like, it's holy moly Batman. And I was like,
Oh,
Oh.
much
Yeah.
more wholesome.
I thought it was holy moly donut shop.
Donut shop.
It isn't. And
Oh,
I
'cause
said man. That
donuts got
doesn't.
holes in them.
no, he's trying to be funny right now. And it's,
Didn't
Yeah.
confirm.
all right.
Anyway,
That was from Friday After Next.
Oh, I like
get
Friday
it.
more.
He always calls our daughter Olivia Oli Bully Donut Shop.
Aw.
Holy moly donut shop.
Holy moly donut shop. Okay. That's for the Friday After Next fans out there.
Anyways, it was a Batman reference I didn't understand.
Right.
I knew it was a Batman reference. I just didn't know what the second word was. I was like, holy something. Because I thought it was something much more like silly,
Oh.
like, holy pickles, Batman. Or something. I don't know. Maybe not pickles, but like not moly. Come on.
Yes, through sidekick training, Will is feeling pretty dejected, you know, because he wishes he had superpowers and,
And
he wishes
does
he was a
not tell his
hero,
parents.
and he still can't face it to tell his parents that he's become a sidekick or whatever. So he's still pretending.
Especially because he gets home and he wants to tell his dad, and his dad is like,
Hey, dude.
what up?
Guess what? You want to come to the secret sanctum that I've never let you in before? Check it out. I added your biometrics this morning. And Will's like, oh my God, the secret sanctum. And it's cool down there. They got all kinds of artifacts from superhero battles. They got a pool table. They got pinball stuff.
And he's over here like, don't ever take anyone down here. And then it's like, oh, so you and your wife are down here all the time?
Yeah,
Like,
just hanging out.
what is this, your family den? Where's Will been?
Yeah, it's weird that they don't bring
Makes
the
me
kid
think
down.
like, did they just disappear in random points of the day and go down there and hang out? And Will's
Well,
just like, Mom?
I mean,
I
Dad?
would have.
if Will's at school 8 hours a day or whatever, and they're out superheroing and hanging out in the secret sanctum, and then they spend the evenings together, and then Will goes to bed, and then they hang out in the secret sanctum and do superheroing, right? They probably don't need to sleep. They're superheroes.
While they're doing their real estate on the side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. They also do real estate.
I guess to
They have
me, it's
jobs.
like, I'm thinking about it in terms of like, why would you put all that stuff there if you shouldn't by your day job even be wasting time in there? So why would you have all that there if you should be out saving people or you should be real estating? There's no
Oh.
reason for you to have that.
Well, I mean,
No.
It's like this
Everybody
Batman.
got down.
Superman's got a fortress of solitude. He goes and hangs out sometimes. You know, you can't be superhero and 100% of the 24/7. You know.
That's called burnout, Lou.
Yeah, you gotta take some me time.
Burnout.
Some
Waste of time.
super me time, dude. You know, down in the Batcave, hanging out in the darkness.
Self-care Sunday.
I wish there was like a couch or something though, because it really looks like an uncomfortable like.
Yeah, I
Look
guess
at
you
my
just
trophies.
sit on the side of the pool table or whatever. He's got like an Xbox. He gave him an Xbox down there. He's very proud of his son for enrolling in the Sky High School. his alma mater. It's definitely like when I played football in high school, it was amazing, and now you get to follow in my footsteps.
What's his name? Uncle Rick?
From what?
From Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't remember what his name was.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico. Oh, Rick was pretty close.
I wasn't wrong. He looks like my Uncle Terry. Rest in peace, Uncle Terry.
Oh, Uncle Terry. So yeah, they.
Dude, I loved Uncle Rico in that movie.
Where he's throwing
and
the
everything
football.
was about how long he could throw that football.
Oh my god.
Go long, Napoleon.
He's really going for it.
No longer.
I did not like Napoleon Dynamite back when it was out. I haven't watched it in forever, but everybody was all hyped on Napoleon Dynamite, and
I've
I
never
was
seen it.
not into it.
I did not think
Dude,
it was as funny as
overall,
everyone else.
it was
like,
not
oh.
funny.
Right.
It's just like
Awkward.
certain characters were just like their novelty.
Right.
If that makes any sense. You know, like Uncle Rico is definitely novelty.
Oh, there's tots in his pockets, dude.
That
Tots.
one guy who
I just
was
thought
like,
the brother was really funny.
yeah, he's like, shut up, Napoleon. You're just mad because all I do is talk to hot babes all day.
That's right. That dude was funny.
He definitely didn't have a list.
Yes, he did have a lisp.
No, he
for
didn't.
sure.
He did like a yes.
Yes. He didn't have a lisp. All right.
Didn't have a
Never
list.
seen it.
Anyway, let's stop talking about other movies, I guess.
Sorry.
Sky High. He goes back to school, and he's having lunch, and he spills something on Warren Peace. And we've met Warren before. He is Will's like arch nemesis by birth. His father was put away by Will's father for being a supervillain, and now Warren is just like an angry teen with fire tattoos and fire powers. So when Will spills something on him in the lunch cafeteria, Warren freaks out. He's like, "Don't you ever touch me! I'll light you up, bro!" And he sets his arms ablaze, which is kind of cool. And he starts throwing fireballs at Will. Will's dodging stuff, and they're like, Mr. Boy, stop the fight!" And Mr. Boy, he runs away.
He looked exactly like Dean Pelton running to the principal's office.
Principal Powers. That was very funny to me. And then during this fight, he's throwing fireballs at Will. Will gets under a table, and because he's in such distress, his powers manifest, and he picks up the table with Warren on top of it. He's like, I've got super strength, wow! And he throws the table with Warren on it, and it like hits a wall and destroys all kinds of stuff. But everybody,
And then he's like running through walls.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Warren's pretty cool too, because even though he like fires up, he also has to be super strong because he's throwing stuff too. Like,
yeah, that's
and
true.
like running through walls.
Yeah,
and
he's probably pretty powerful hero villain, hero guy, mutant. So yeah, they fight, and Will is like stoked because he wins the fight. He has his powers, and everybody in the school is like, "Yay, Will!"
That one girl's digging him now.
Oh yeah, Gwen is giving him goo eyes,
Sexy pants.
sexy pants. I think she wears a skirt.
I know she's wearing a skirt.
She'll have sexy pants later in the movie.
It's awkward if you say sexy skirt though.
Yeah, it's way grosser. So the next day, Will goes to sidekick class. Oh, he also goes home and tells his parents that he has powers, but they're mad at him at first because they're like, "You destroyed the school cafeteria. What's wrong with you? We didn't raise you like this. Meet me in the secret sanctum right now, so you could be disciplined, young man." And then his dad goes down there.
He's gonna like fist bump him down there, you know.
His dad goes down there, like, "Oh my God, you got super strength! Oh, this is crazy!" He's so excited and very proud of his son.
He gives him a freaking Xbox.
He gives him an Xbox.
I'm taking away your Xbox. He's like, I don't have an Xbox. He's like, you do now.
Check it out, bro. Real estate money is coming
I
in.
was so mad. I was like, this is an awful parent, man.
Well,
You never catch me that. I'll be over there taking everything.
yeah.
I don't care what kind of powers you got.
You're losing your bed, your blanket, your pillow.
He's very
Apparently
excited.
it's prison here.
He's very excited because earlier in the movie, I think he had expressed that he wanted the three of them, his family, his wife and his son, and him, to be the Stronghold 3 and be the most powerful family of superheroes on the planet or whatever. And his mom like tells him to take it down a notch and be like, "We can still be the Stronghold 3, the greatest family the world has ever seen." He's like, "Okay, yeah, that's pretty good." Also, we skipped the scene where Will told him that he was a sidekick, and he freaks out. At first, he doesn't even believe him. He's like, who's a psychic? He's like, I'm a psychic. He's like, you're a what? And he's like, I am a psychic,
like,
Dad.
What?
And the dad is like, I can't believe this is all Boomer's fault. I'm gonna call Boomer. And he breaks the phone and he opens the drawer and it's full of phones because he breaks phones all the time. He slams his fist on the table and all the sandwich ingredients pop up. That was a fun little effect. And then he like begrudgingly accepts it because Will lays his foot down and he's like, I'm proud to be a sidekick and I'm proud to be hero support and I'm going to go out there with all my psychic friends and we're going to study being psychics because that's the business. And then he gets his powers, and the next day at school he goes to psychic class and he is pulled out of it almost immediately. Mr. Megamind or whatever, big brain dude, comes in and is like, Will, you're wanted in hero class. That's what that
exactly.
Like.
So I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are sidekicks in comics actually cool? Like, is Robin cool?
In my opinion, yes. I love all of the sidekicks. They're very and they're pretty popular in comics, at least. Like I
only know like Batman and Robin, but
right.
I don't even really know Robin that much.
Right. Well,
because he's not in those Batman movies.
That's true. He's only in 2 Batman movies overall of the live action ones, and 3 if you count The Dark Knight Rises, because technically Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is named Robin at the very end of that movie. Spoilers for The Dark Knight Rises. All these other movies. But yeah,
I only know Barnacle Boy.
That's the thing, is that like almost everyone in the Justice League.
I love Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Okay. Please, what did I bring you?
Come on, Barnacle Boy.
I love those dang geezers.
Hello, old dudes. I
Yes.
love it.
But like, yeah. So
Wait a minute. So they're human. No one else is human in that show.
I mean, they're barnacles.
They must be.
They have fire underwater, dude.
They must have so much dementia or Alzheimer's because they don't. They're
tiny
sponges and
little baby
squirrels. Anyways,
Hey, Sandy was wearing a helmet. I don't know why Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were not.
Oh, there's all kinds of powers happening in
Anywho.
this episode. So yeah, the sidekicks in DC, there's almost one for like every superhero. Flash has a sidekick, Young Flash. Young Flash or Kid Flash, excuse me. Well, there's
so like Wally.
There's yes, Wally. Wally West was Kid Flash and then becomes the Flash.
What's Aquaman's sidekick?
Aqualad. And Aqualass as well. There's a
I
girl.
thought it was a seahorse.
There's a girl version. No,
Aqua baby.
You mean Topo, his seahorse that he rides.
It's not a sidekick?
He's technically
He's like
a
an
sidekick.
animal sidekick.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
like
don't
an
know
animal
any of the
sidekick.
sidekicks
Princess
besides
sidekick.
Robin. So what this school is saying about how nobody knows the sidekicks is true. I only know Batman and Robin.
I mean, yeah. Did you know that there were 4 Robins?
No.
There's a lot of them.
Wait, who's Wonder Woman's sidekick?
Wonder Girl, and also Donna Troy. There's 2 of them.
Who's Superman's sidekick?
There's Superboy and Supergirl.
I think the difference, though, if you think about it, is that
Weird.
like in Marvel,
There's
like,
a lot less of it in Marvel.
there's a lot less, and it might be different in the comics, but like cinematically, we don't do sidekicks. They
Right.
do like individual cool stuff.
Yes, it's
Or-
interesting in the
or
movies.
like the lesser characters
That's right.
become like Hawkeye is like a sidekick. Let's be
Well,
real.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say not Hawkeye, but I was like every major superhero has like a cool best black friend, little
For sure.
mini superhero that's
For
right
sure.
next to him.
Iron
There's,
Man and
War
War
Machine and Captain America and the Falcon and
But I never thought of him. I never thought of him as a sidekick.
right.
Just
right.
like his little homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange and Wong.
Yes, exactly. Side homie. You
His
know?
side piece.
But yeah, sidekicks.
Number one.
Sidekicks play a fairly important role, and in Marvel Comics now there
Thanos and
there
Squidward.
are different versions that we might start to see, because like there was a Captain Marvel, but there's also a Miss Marvel, and she's gonna get her own show. And then there's Spider-Man, and then there's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and he has his own movie and stuff like that. And they're not necessarily sidekicks. They don't run around with them and hang out in their caves or whatever, but they definitely interact with their elder mentor hero.
Interesting.
So yeah, but the sidekicks are definitely done dirtier in this movie than they are in comic books.
It's quite funny, not because if that was I mean, not in the reality way is it funny, but it's just interesting how they portray it and how, like, as a teenager, I can see where it's like gut wrenching. Like,
Right.
no, I don't want to
Yeah.
be
Because it's straight up, jocks versus nerds in this
but
movie.
I like Will's character because throughout all of these things with his parents, with the other like hero bully kids, he stands up for the sidekicks, his friends,
Every
the whole
time.
time.
Mhm.
Like, he doesn't really waver at all.
Right.
I mean, he thinks he's gonna get a little smoochy, and then he does like a little second of wavering, but after that, he's like, "Nah, girl, I ain't trying to do nothing with you. I'm
That's
going
right.
back to my girl, Layla."
Yeah, because
Poison Ivy.
Gwen starts coming on pretty strong as soon as Will gets put into the hero category or whatever. She's like, "Oh my God, Will, let's go to let me come to your
Especially
house."
after he wins Save the Citizen.
Right? Yeah. You want to save the citizen? You're just so cool and powerful. And I'm
Oh,
gonna
and
come over to your
FYI, I
house and
thought
invite
that
your
was
parents
so
to the-
interesting,
to
the
the
Save
show.
the Citizen game.
It was really cool.
It was cool, and also like, wow, just. I mean, the implications of having kids doing that kind of stuff.
When they
even
were-
though they were gonna be like if you're fighting a villain, you're gonna like die if you don't defend
They
yourself.
were
I remember
like,
when we used to use
we
real
used real
citizens. Very funny. A very cool concept where they lower the dude on a rope and it's going to be snapped up into these jaws of death or whatever. And you have to defeat these two opposite students who are playing villains and also save the citizen in a certain amount of time.
Remind me of Hercules, where he has to save the damsel.
Yes.
When he's like practicing.
Just hero drills.
It
You know,
reminded
training.
me of Harry Potter. I want to say it was the second movie where they do like the dueling club.
Yeah.
And like Snape and
Lockhart.
Lockhart, thank you. I was going to say Blondie, which honestly, it's the same. But they're like, how about somebody from my own house? And they put Harry and Malfoy up there,
Yeah.
and it's like, really, kids? Really?
Oh, yeah. We're going to make them
Like,
fight.
come on, teachers, read the room.
Yeah. We're going to let them mess each other up pretty good. And yeah, that's what they
I
do
know
in
all
this
these kids
as well.
hate each other, so let's do it.
Yeah, like they specifically pit like the jerk bully dudes against the two freshmen who are enemies with one another.
Yeah, because
and
that's
they know.
what gym coaches do
Yeah, exactly.
in high school movies.
But it works in their favor. I like the use
I like
of
that you prefaced that because I was like, I wonder
In high
if
school movies.
all gym teachers do that. Are all gym teachers evil?
yeah. Throw these balls at each other. You know,
Dodgeball can get pretty scary.
it can get dangerous. It can get almost as bad as Save the Citizen. But yeah, they end up wrapping the old stretchy dude into a pretzel, which is fun, and then they suck the oxygen out of Speed, which is cool. And then the finishing move is Will throws War and Peace through the citizen, so he saves her from the jaws of death, which is a fun move. A good use of his powers. He also does like the jump smash down, which is a cool
like a Hulk
video
smash?
game Hulk smash type
Yeah.
of move. Yeah. Which the physics of it, I just don't know. I think he just punched a big hole in the ground, like a fist-sized hole, even if it was, pretty deep.
That was nice though.
Like a
I
superhero
guess all
landing.
of these special effects should have clued me in that this wasn't a Disney Channel original movie because they did it pretty well. Like I didn't
Yes.
think it looked cheesy.
Like when the bus turns into a rocket ship that flies them to school, it looks pretty good. There's not
and the
like
flames,
awful
I think,
CGI.
is what keeps getting me. That was good.
Mhm.
Like little flamey kids' hands.
Yeah.
Warren.
I totally would have dated War and Peace.
She said that several
Dude,
times
I'm
last
just
night.
saying, like,
So would have Luis.
no, that's not the reason why, but like,
He's gonna defend himself so hard right now.
No,
but
no.
He was so in love with Taylor Lautner.
Let her go.
oh, dude, Team Jacob. Even though I wanted to be a werewolf before I even seen that movie, but whatever. Anyways,
Every time there's a full moon, he's like, "You gotta lock me up."
Dude.
tonight."
we got,
Right on,
some,
dog.
we got some chains underneath the bed. She'd be locking me up when that full moon coming. Anyways,
Chains under the bed. Go ahead.
Weird.
Sorry.
War and Peace.
I don't know
Oh,
if we should bleep that or
when,
not. That was like,
when what's her name was like at the Chinese restaurant and stuff, and she gets stood up and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
there working,
oh yeah.
and then I'm like, dude, she might as well just date this guy. I'm like, he
Right.
seems like he's pretty knowledgeable, he's funny,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden he starts speaking Cantonese. I'm like, dude, come on now, what are you
Bro,
wasting time with
he's got
little
skills.
muscle boy?
Better looking than
he
the
knows
other dude.
Cantonese.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Like fluently.
like fluently. What
He's
you
got
wasting
a
time
a
for?
job.
He's got a job.
China is going to become one of the biggest economies in the world, girl. Get with him.
He is the future.
He wants to be a loner.
Yeah, he definitely wants to be a loner. So yeah, they make a date, Layla and Will, and Will misses it because Gwen comes over to the house and starts manipulating him hard and distracting him basically.
And the parents.
And
it's
the
very
parents.
weird.
Yeah, you guys. I just want to honor you at the homecoming dance. Would you please be the guest of honor? But Layla gets stood
High
up at the
school, I
Chinese
hate it.
restaurant. Warren comes in and kind of like consoles her at the very end of the night because she waited there from 8 p.m. to close. You know,
So sad.
it's quite a while.
So sad. But
The
you
owner and or his mom. I couldn't tell
Yeah.
who she was. He's like in the corner like, oh my God, girl, go home. He's not coming to get you.
So you forgot an important part. So,
Mm.
what's her face? What's her name?
Gwen.
Gwen went over to their house and is doing all this, and then his dad and mom open up a yearbook and they're like looking at
Oh, yeah,
everybody.
that's right.
And then they were like, "Ooh, that weird kid."
Sue Tenney. She was weird and she disappeared after right before senior year or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they also, refer back to the inner sanctum, and they're at one point, and they're looking around at all the artifacts, and they're like, "Oh, here's King Kamehameha's surfboard, and then here's," which is very funny, and then here's the pacifier, which I got from Royal Pain when I defeated him back in the day.
And I kept thinking like pacifier. I kept thinking like it was going to pacify someone. Like it was going
It was
to have
gonna-
to like make them okay
Make
with
them-
something that they
make
weren't
them
really
chill
okay
or
with.
whatever?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was like pacify. That's not very ominous. Like that's a weird machine.
It's like a silly villain thing.
Right, yeah, silly ray gun for the villain to
Surfboard.
have. Yeah,
Surfboard.
King Kamehameha.
King Kamehameha
It's
surfboard.
good. So
But Gwen's powers are really cool.
so we see Gwen in class, and she can build anything with that is technology. She has full mastery over technology, which is cool. She's a technopath. A cool power that I hadn't seen before this movie, I don't think.
I had seen it in the show on, I think it was NBC. Remember the show called Heroes?
Uh-huh. Who's the technopath on there? Oh, the kid, right?
The kid whose I think mom was like the ice cream and dad was like someone strong.
Yeah, the mom was
But
like,
he could talk to technology, which is
Right.
different. He couldn't manipulate it.
I mean, he could tell it what to do. So he could like talk to computers and have them, shut down security systems and all that kind of
That
good
kid was
stuff.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool
Wow.
power. So Gwen and Will are getting all kinds of chummy now at this point. She's glomming all over him, and they're starting a little relationship. They're holding hands and walking through the school and whatnot. And Layla's over there playing the jealousy game where she's cozying up to Warren even though she doesn't.
Dude,
like
and
him at
Warren
all.
is like, ugh.
Well, Warren agrees to help her because he wants revenge upon Will in some way or another. So if this will make him unhappy, then he's down. So they're playing it up, and eventually Gwen and Will are hanging out at their house alone.
Dude, it is like Team Jacob, because didn't Jacob get another girlfriend and she was like hecka mad?
At some point, probably.
About Kristen Stewart. Yeah, the drama of Twilight.
Don't worry, babe. I'll make you rewatch them again.
No, you will not.
Yeah, did you hear Luis? You can't hear them, listeners,
What-
but he
what'd
was
he
over
say?
here like, let's rewatch him.
Oh, Lord.
I made Andre. When did I make you watch it? It was like over a year ago.
Yeah, probably last year sometime.
I'm just going to make it sound like yesterday so I didn't have to watch it again. I'm going to tell you, Luis loves Jacob. Lerves.
Lerp scene.
Do you like Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Smiling, he's not even-
Nah, I just like you guys are taking it too far. I just like any type of character that's a werewolf. Like I even like that one kid from Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Bow
werewolf.
wow
Michael J.
wow,
Fox.
yippee yo, yippee yay.
If it were to come down to like like evil
Just walking
monsters,
the
my
Teen
favorite monster is a werewolf.
Fair
That's
enough.
why I really like Wolverine because he's as close to a werewolf as
we
possible.
Were dating,
Right.
He made us watch Teen Wolf. And then
Teen Wolf is
when
great.
we got...
I've never seen it.
we didn't watch the whole thing, but we watched it for like a fair amount of time.
It got
And then-
weird.
and
There's
then we
wolf
got-
basketball.
Yeah. And then we got married, and the first thing we watched, like first show we watched married, was Hemlock Grove, and which was one of
That was
There's a whole
kind
bunch of monsters on that show,
was
right?
Yeah.
interesting.
but that was one of Netflix's first shows. Like I'm not saying it's the first one, but it was
Right, one of their
Yeah.
first original series.
and
Probably the coolest werewolf transformation I'd ever seen.
Yeah, so Luis was like obsessed for a while with that.
That's where we saw
Did you guys watch?
Skarsgård Jr.
Yeah, Skarsgård is like the main character in that show with another dude. Anywho,
him and his creepy eyes.
oh my god,
Dude,
for sure. And he's a creeper in that show, so it's like, extra. Bleh.
Blue.
Bleh. It's like what is his name? Edward. We were just talking about him. He's like that, but creepier.
Batman.
So.
Oh no.
Yeah, Luis and his werewolf. Sorry.
So yeah, that's the Taylor Lautner of it all. But yeah, this dude, this War and Peace. I mean, he looks just like Taylor Lautner. It's crazy. I was saying when we were watching it, I was like, oh, this dude and Taylor Lautner have definitely been in the same room for auditions before, and Taylor Lautner just keeps taking them away from him. He probably has a serious grudge against him. He looks so much like him.
So how old is that guy now? Like,
let me see.
In his 40s?
No.
Maybe like maybe late
30s.
30s?
Oh dear, where is he?
Well, it depends on how old he was when he played that, though. Because you know how sometimes they're like 25 playing like a 15-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
He was born in 1986, so in 2005, I mean, he's definitely an adult. He's on The Expanse now. That show on Amazon, sci-fi show. I've heard it's very good. I'm going to watch it one day.
Which one?
The Expanse.
Oh, never heard.
I think it's like set in, they're in space and there's like mining colonies.
Yeah, we'll not be watching
In space.
In space.
In space.
That's
In
one genre you'll never get
space.
into, space
No,
stuff.
no space.
Well, I mean,
Except for Star Wars.
Star Wars and Doctor
Star
Who.
Wars has
I mean,
our
that's
hearts.
pretty spacey.
Yeah, that's definitely spacey. Spacey, wacy, timey-wimey.
Moving on.
So, yes, everybody's getting cozy. Gwen and Will are hanging out alone at his house. The parents had to go on a distress call. They're studying. Quotation marks. And then, but Gwen is like, "Hey, you know what? Can we have the like homecoming committee come over? We just need to go over some things
my
real quick."
gosh.
And Will's like, "I'm not supposed to have anybody over. I really shouldn't." And she's like, "It's just gonna be a few people. Please don't make it a big deal." And he's like, "Okay," and he gives in. And then of course it turns into a gigantic, super powered house party where there's a homie climbing the walls with cheesy fingers, and there's the rock monster banging up the couch.
Larry.
Yeah,
Do you really have to rock out right now?
they're
Power down.
dragging the ice bucket across the
down.
floor.
I thought that was funny.
And Will is just playing, clean up. It's me every time I have anybody over. I'm like, oh my God, I'm anxious right now. My parents are going to be mad at me.
Andre's not been living at home for
Yeah,
very
for,
long, and he still
a
thinks
decade.
that.
What happens after that? Oh, so
This is the whole Gwen Layla showdown.
yes, so
Dude.
Layla comes by.
I had very big eyes.
She walks by the house. She's trying to make amends with Will or whatever, and forgive him for standing her up and trying to confess her love or whatever. She sees that the party is happening. Gwen takes Will into a private room and she's like, "Hey, it's so loud in here. We keep getting interrupted. People keep walking in on us. Is there anywhere we could go where we could be alone?" And Will's like, I know a sanctum style place that I could maybe take you, even though I'm not supposed to take anyone into the secret sanctum." He takes her down there. They start making out. You know how it goes. They come back up. And
The speedster takes the thing.
Right in the background, we see something very fast take the pacifier out of its slot. Yeah, never be able to make it in there without seeing Quicksilver. Bro, I see you running right now. So Layla comes in. She confronts Gwen. She's like, "Where's Will? I want to talk to him." And Gwen does her best Mean Girls impression, and she's like, "Will doesn't want to talk to you. He hates you. He's avoiding you. He's with me now. You suck. I'm great." And
Really good at that.
Dude, it was bad. I was like, holy
It
moly.
was,
Yeah.
it made me very cringe. Like, ooh.
it was really harsh what
Yeah.
she was saying
Especially
to
because
Layla.
Caitlin's so cute. I
I
know that's
know.
not her name, but
She's definitely Caitlin.
She's so cute.
So
He's mean to her.
yeah, before Will gets a chance to see her or talk to her, she like runs away. Does he go after her?
He tries to.
He tries to, but they all stop
then
him.
the parents pop in.
show up and they're like,
Well, no, and she she breaks up with Layla or he breaks up with
Gwen.
Gwen. That's
beforehand. So he's like, "What did you say to her?" And she's like, "I just told her the truth that you're a hero now and you can't hang out with losers." And he was like,
Those are my friends.
We're broken up
And
now."
that's my
and she was like,
best
"You're
friend."
dumping me?" And he was like, "Yeah, You dumb.
Yeah, I literally repeated.
You dumped.
Yeah, dumb.
You skipped.
It
was good.
Yeah, she got a hardcore skip. So
we haven't played that in a long time.
I know, we should play it after.
yeah, maybe
We
will.
started. No, we started Disney Villainous or Marvel, and we just can't.
Oh,
Villainous.
I knew you were gonna say it.
leaving our board games.
Money.
So because he breaks up with her, and even though homecoming is just around the corner or whatever. Oh,
Tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. The parents show up and they're furious. They're like, everybody get out of here on the count of 3 or I'll laser your faces off or whatever he says. I don't remember. But
He's got the authority, though.
they all, run, fly, jump, skip, hop out of there, roll.
I thought that was very funny.
The
To watch them all leave.
stretchy dude leans out of there. They all dip, and Will gets into an argument with his parents. He was like, "This wasn't supposed to happen. I tried to tell them not to come over. It got out of hand, and I'm sorry." And
he's also like, I ain't going to
he's like,
homecoming.
"I'm not going to homecoming," because he just broke up with his date or whatever. And they're upset about that, but they're like, "Well, I guess we're still gonna go. We're being honored. Bye bye." The next night at homecoming, everything is going according to plan for Gwendolyn here.
Gwendolyn.
as the parents show up, they stop the dance and go, "All right, we're now gonna honor Commander and Jetstream for their heroic work throughout the years and whatnot. But first, I want to let y'all know that I am Royal Pain, and you're all in for it." And she rips her dress off, and it turns into a techno Iron Man suit or whatever.
Her suit looks cool.
It is
I
a cool.
thought it was pretty cool.
It's a cool suit. It's like black and gold, and it's got like a techno wiring all over it. She dons her helmet and she goes, "I am Royal Pain," and Commander's like, "Royal Pain's a girl." She pulls out the pacifier and turns Commander and Jetstream into babies. That's what the pacifier does. It de-ages you, which is pretty cool. She starts claiming that her whole evil plan is to take revenge upon the school for deeming her a lowly sidekick, even though she had a brilliant mind when she went there.
And a sick power.
Yeah, and a very cool power. So she left the school, grew up to be a supervillain, and then Commander defeated her, and the pacifier went off, turned her into a baby.
And she had to start over.
And she had to start over. She had to go through puberty twice, as she says. And she was raised by Jim Rash, the dean. And then she goes back into the school to enact her ultimate plan. So she turns like half the dance into babies. The sidekicks we know get out by escaping through a vent, and Will finds out that there's trouble at the dance because he realizes the pacifier is gone in the secret sanctum. Is that right?
His mom gave him the yearbook and was like, "Put this away. Your dad wanted to bring it and reminisce with people."
That's right.
And so he opens it and he's looking at it, and then he sees that Sue Tenney girl looks like
exactly like Gwen.
Like Gwen, and then he knows it's Gwen, and then he goes in the sanctum and sees the pacifier missing, and he's like, "Dang it.
I gotta get back up there." So he calls his homie, Ron Wilson,
Yeah,
bus driver. And Ron comes and picks him up and takes him to the homecoming dance.
I just found out something that's very
Oh,
important.
yes, please.
It's not that important. The lady who speaks Cantonese in the in the restaurant.
Is she from Freaky Friday?"
She was the lady from
Oh, my
Yes, I knew
Yo,
it.
they got this lady on
She was
call.
also the lady from Fresh Off the Boat, but the
Right.
Freaky Friday
It's the
one
Freaky
was
Friday
like,
lady.
She was
Yes.
just like, "Mom, no."
And she was
I
in
knew
Mulan,
it.
the new Mulan too, wasn't she, for a scene? A hot second?
Yeah,
I believe so.
so.
love that lady.
Anywho, sorry
love
for
that lady.
derailing as usual.
Yes. So Will arrives at the school. He meets up with the sidekicks, and they have to kind of split up.
And Warren.
And Warren is there. They kind of make their peace. Will and Layla make up and make out all in one go, and then they have to split up to stop all of this evil happenings or whatever. So somebody is dispatched to go get the babies. No. They go to reactivate the gravitational device that's holding the school up flying, because Royal Pain has sabotaged it or whatever. So old guinea pig girl and Slick Rick or whatever his name is, Slippy Slide. Did they get names?
And Glowworm. I want to call him Glowworm.
Glowworm. He claimed the name Zack Attack earlier.
Glowworm.
Earlier in the movie, when Will was like breaking up with Gwen, I was like, this dude he's a good guy. Like he's
well, yeah, and then
cool
he left
dude.
Layla a bunch of messages, went to the Chinese restaurant,
Right?
And then even Warren was there and was like, dude, you're so stupid. She like likes you.
Yeah, but when he was breaking up with Gwen, I was like, this dude, he's got like nerves of steel. Like he's really got something going for him. He has an iron will, and I was like, that should be his freaking superhero name.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a good
Iron
character,
Will.
man. Good moral fiber for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Iron Will. I
Iron
like that.
Will. So they're at the school. Will goes to confront Royal Pain, and they start duking it out. And Will realizes that she's like from a generation ago, and he's like, I made out with an old lady, which is funny. Even though, I mean, she's technically still, it's only her brain that's old, you know.
Yeah.
That body's still young or whatever,
That's
right?
weird though.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. But the weirder thing is that she made out with him. Like her brain definitely
She wanted
over.
revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a cougar.
enough to do anything. Yeah,
Coogie.
cougar stuff.
What really kills me though is that I mean, the dad, the dean, must have been like legitimately reinforcing all the stuff, because it's like, if she really
Right.
did go back to a baby, did she remember everything?
I
Did she grow up knowing all of this stuff already?
I don't know, because the pacifier, like, she's turned all these people into these babies, and at the end of the movie when they're turning them back, I mean they're all fine immediately, and I don't know if they had grown up like to like 3 or 4. If you just get all, oh well, actually the Megamind baby still has his thoughts and memories and his
you're
Mega
right.
Mind, and that's why he's
Ugh,
able
that
to
was
speak
creepy.
and stuff.
I
like
think
that.
they still remember everything.
Yeah. It keeps their memory intact, even
They're
though
just a baby.
even though your brain gets smaller or whatever. So they start fighting. They're having a pretty cool fight. Royal Pain and Will. He's tossing her around, and you know she's rocketing towards him and setting off all kinds of techno gadgets and whatnot. She eventually tosses him out a window completely, and once again the school is flying thousands of feet in the air. He's toast. He's done for.
In that moment, I kept thinking that the one girl who could control the trees should have just put a vine down and caught him. I was
Jack and the Gene.
I was like, you don't use your
Beanstalk.
powers enough. You could have saved him very easily.
I was thinking about Bulbasaur, like do a vine whip.
Do
or
a vine
something.
whip, homegirl, get him.
Wouldn't have been that hard.
She literally does like a vine whip with Penny a little bit earlier.
I know.
Like,
I was like, you're just screaming no, save him.
bye, Will.
I love you, but not enough.
We only had our first kiss. So he's toast. The villain monologues for a hot second, and then Will, second power manifested. He flies up and back in through the window.
Up and away.
Up and away. He's got 2 powers, not just one. Everybody else, suck it. I'm the best. I'm Iron Will. He goes in and he dispatches with Royal Pain pretty easily. Punches her in the face. He does like a flying twisty move, I think. And then she deploys the anti-gravitational device on her wrist as she's like getting knocked out, and the whole school drops. So Will flies out the window and tries to pick up the school. And
Nah, it's like what happened? What's that Marvel movie? It's Sokovia.
it's definitely the Sokovia
By Sokovia.
Island falling upon
You done?
the city, like Ultron.
Unfortunately, there was no gravity pulls on that.
Right, yeah. So the sidekicks have to save the day. Magenta, the one who can turn into a guinea pig, crawls through the vents and bites through the wires on the sabotage device, which turns the gravity back on, and Will slows it down so that it doesn't crush this
A house that
house.
his parents have just sold.
Yes, that guy who's there is the actor Tom Kenny, and he has played SpongeBob for the past 20 years or
Yep.
whatever.
He was like, "Oh, we didn't need that insurance."
That's right.
Was the
before
lady
house
that it was
crashed.
next to him? I can't.
I don't know.
figure out-
I didn't recognize her.
I was trying to figure it out because I was reading about the SpongeBob reference,
Mhm.
but there's someone else who plays Karen, like Plankton's computer.
Oh, really?
lover. Yeah.
That's in this? Oh, I don't know.
It said
who
it's
that
both
is.
of them, but I don't know who played. Her name is Jill Talley. Talley?
Jill Talley. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the lady. And she's been on SpongeBob since 1999.
See?
Oh, she was on Mr. Show. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it was, some SpongeBob pals hanging out,
Yep.
crossing streams from Nickelodeon over to Disney.
Seem
Mhm.
like hi.
Cool beans. Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, it says that. Yeah,
Go
that is where they are.
Oh, okay. So that's fun. And then Will flies the school back up to its proper place. They get the Megamind baby to figure out how to reverse the polarity on the pacifier and start regrowing babies. And they put Royal Pain and her minions, because all the bullies ended up working for her, Penny and Speed and what's the stretchy dude's name? Lash or Leash or something
Elastigirl.
like that?
Lash, I
Elastigirl, yeah. They put them in the detention room, which is like a power dampener, which is cool. I like that touch. And then Will's parents recognize all of the sidekicks as heroes because they're the ones who all saved the day, which is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed. And that's basically the end of the movie. Oh,
No,
also,
the end of the movie is that one dude doing that funny dance. The
What?
glowworm guy. They do the dance again,
They
and
do.
he loves magenta, and he's like, no, I don't want to dance, and she's like, I'll dance. He's like, yeah, I want to dance.
Yeah.
he was funny the entire movie.
He was very funny.
He had the
whole
best
movie.
one-liners.
But yeah, at the end there's a small epilogue where Will's like, yeah, so I'm a superhero now, and it's all cool. Everybody's the sidekicks. We're not persecuted at school no more, and
Best friends with my arch enemy.
and also Ron Wilson, bus driver, fell into a vat of chemicals, so he's got superpowers now.
I thought that was very
I was
funny.
like, all right, go
Which
Ron.
was sad because Ron had two superhero parents and got zero
Right,
powers.
he's the squib of this world.
Oh,
he's
no.
He's the Filch.
He's Argus Filch.
Where
Oh no.
he's got
Wait,
two.
hold up.
Yo,
Argus Filch?
Yeah,
in
he's
Harry
a squib.
Potter, he's a squib, so he has two magical parents, but no magical powers himself.
The one with the cat.
Oh man.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
works.
with
he works at
Mr.
Hogwarts. Uh huh.
Oh, Mr. Morris.
I said Mrs. Norris.
Mr. Norris.
Mrs. Norris.
I had no idea squib was a thing until now.
Yeah, that's in the books. Some books, deep cuts.
Not a deep cut.
Deep cut.
It says what a
The
squib.
latest art J.K. Rowling.
Would you like to know some fun facts about this
I
movie?
would like to know
Fun
some
facts.
Fun
We like fun facts.
Now that I read it, it makes sense because I did not like his costume, but Kurt Russell's suit had a cooling system in it, built into it. So
They looked a little bulky.
it looked super bulky in the chest, right? Like
Yeah.
it looked very, I don't know.
Bro, you barely wore your suit. Just put it on.
So apparently,
It'd be cooled.
I like this article. It says superhero suits look cool on screen, but wearing them is another story.
Mhm.
And it talks about how like MCU characters have just like complained up a storm.
What
Like
about the suits?
Tom Holland said the Spider-Man suit in Homecoming made it almost impossible for him to stay hydrated.
Yeah, that thing
Chadwick
rides up.
said that he had to relearn how to breathe in the Black Panther suit.
Mhm.
And then Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow costume became a wetsuit after a long day of shooting. That's
Ugh,
gross.
that's disgusting.
That's very
Did
disgusting.
you guys hear about the in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight? One of the reasons why they redesigned the suit is because Christian Bale was like, I can't pee in this thing, so we need to redesign it so that I can not have to take the entire thing off so that I can go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Understand what it feels like to be a lady in a jumpsuit. Drunk in the summer, okay?
It's
Just,
Well,
it's
I
bad.
think you just stretch out your jumpsuit when you just.
well,
have
if you're
to
gonna
pee.
be a lady drunk in the summer, don't wear a jumpsuit.
Well, you gotta look cute at brunch.
Or if
Gotta
you're gonna
look
wear a
cute
jumpsuit,
at
don't be a
brunch.
lady drunk in the summer.
What? They should just install zippers, man.
They
you
go
know?
hand in hand. You can't wear a jumpsuit and not be drunk in the summer.
That's all.
Sunday brunch.
This is a drunk girl move. Anywho.
So he had a commander suit, had a cooling vest installed, which reminds me of like the Dutch Bros people, like when they had the cooling vest.
Yeah.
Like when
Oh, did they?
in the middle of the summer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Literally.
Apparently, this movie is better reviewed than many of the Marvel and DC movies. It says many of the Marvel. I don't know if that's for sure, but it said better than the X-Men movies. Which
maybe
I feel
just
like,
better
yeah.
than Thor 2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
Than some MCU movies.
And then it said the director intentionally kept the teen actors separated during filming so that they wouldn't date.
They kept them separated so they wouldn't date.
Was like, One Tree Hill, like the co-stars.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then the writers here also played Kim Possible.
Right. That's how they got. That's how they got
Impossible.
hired to rewrite this movie. Apparently, this movie had been in production for a while before it actually got off the ground. And the guys who were writing Kim Possible started writing a live action adaptation of Kim Possible, which got shelved or whatever. But somebody was impressed with their work, and so they were like,
Did
hey,
it get
come
shelved,
back, come over on.
though?
Well, it came back eventually.
I didn't watch it.
2019.
Neither did I.
Um,
But it showed his life that you should watch this.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Put up Kim Possible.
And I was like, eh.
Yes.
I'll watch Star Wars.
They like their strong writing skills. The writers.
Well, what does this have? What's this Manish and tomatoes?
On Rotten Tomatoes, this film has a 73%.
That's it.
And an audience score of 57%, actually.
Oh.
Critics' consensus, though, this highly derivative superhero coming-of-age flick is moderately entertaining, family-friendly fluff. It says, wow, that doesn't
Aw.
even sound that positive.
Can I say something?
You
Rather funny?
you may.
I just think it's funny because the person who wrote this obviously has a good sense of humor. They said Dean from Community plays Royal Pain's henchman, and then it says another cameo many adults will recognize is Jim Rash, who plays Gwen Grayson's father and Royal Pain's henchman. His name was Stitches.
Stitches.
His role in Sky High has garnered many jokes that Stitches is just another one of Dean's ridiculous costumes, like Lady Gaga's or the Dalmatian. Anywho, I just thought that was really funny.
That would have
Makes
been
sense.
hilarious if he had pulled that costume out in Community.
Did you know that he did a cameo in Captain America: Civil War?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, he's in the very beginning when Tony Stark is giving the presentation of his the brain machine that he can look into the past or whatever.
Right
yeah,
when
he
he
was the
walks
teacher.
off stage.
He walks off stage and the guy
He's
is
like,
like,
"Great job."
So the grant, is it possible that it's going to come to faculty as well? Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that was him.
That's the dean. Mm-hmm. Very fun.
Broke Dean, broke Dean,
Broke Dean,
broke Dean. So this movie, once again, it did come out in theaters. It had a budget of $35 million. So, not too shabby, but pretty low for a superhero movie, right? But it had a box office return of $86.4 million. It made some shmoney. Yeah, it has a 6.5 out of 10 on Metacritic as well. So, I guess people didn't love it or whatever, but I think this movie's great.
Yeah, I liked it. Luis, what are you gonna rate this movie?
I'll give it a 7. It was decent.
7 out of 10.
Yay. Emily.
I'm gonna say that I will give it like an 8 out of 10. I
8.
did think it was pretty cute. I liked all of the music in it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Michael
wasn't-
Giacchino.
It was all like covers of like 80s-ish songs.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
But they picked good ones. And I think Luis changed his tune very quickly because the first song is that Everybody Wants to Rule the World? You know the one that makes
He's
Luis
a-
happy every time?
he's humming away,
he's
far
humming
away
over
from
here.
his mic.
Brown, brown, welcome.
Oh, that's
to
right.
your
Ding,
life.
ding. All right, there we go. I gotcha.
Anywho,
I
What
really
was the last one?
the last one.
I'll stop the world
Yeah.
and melt with you.
I like that every time he was looking at Gwen before she revealed herself to be a villain, it was like, ha, 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 ha. Like every time he looked at her, that song would just play in his
Yeah,
head.
it was funny. I agree with Emily. I'm gonna give this movie an 8. It was pretty good. Like, I liked it. I will probably watch it again eventually.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't really dislike much about it. It was pretty good. 8.
indeed. I think I'm also going to give it an 8. I've been really high on this movie because it is really fun. But I think I liked it so much because I was expecting it to be much worse, and it does a really good job, like more than passable, I would say, but it's still not the best superhero movie. Like if you're gonna choose,
ain't the worst, that's
if you're
for
gonna
sure.
choose between like two kid superhero movies, I mean, The Incredibles obviously goes like way ahead of this one or whatever, right? But this is still really, really fun and has a lot of cool twists and powers and characters.
Better than anything with Tobey Maguire in
It's
it.
better than anything with that stupid freaking penguin in it.
Penguins.
Yes.
She does not like Danny DeVito.
I don't like Danny DeVito
as
as
the
penguin.
in Batman Returns.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Because he's only got 2 fingers like this.
Because he's got flippers.
Yeah,
he's
it's
got
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well,
disgusting.
he's really gross.
He
too.
lives in the garbage sewer.
I've not watched this. Can you tell?
You gotta watch it. Actually,
does
I
live
had
in the
to suffer.
sewer.
You should too.
I had to suffer.
And he raises an army of penguins.
Andre was
that
laughing
fight
the whole
Batman.
time because I was so upset that he made me watch it. I was like, "Really? I said you can pick one Batman movie, and this is what you picked."
It's the Christmas Batman movie.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's okay because we're done with Penguin Batmans, and we're doing.
We had never even started.
I'm done with it, and we're going into another one.
Listen,
Star Wars movie.
We're on one, y'all. We're continuing with even more Star Wars. So next week we are going to
I feel
watch.
like we just did a Star Wars
we
movie.
just did for
Rogue
my
One.
birthday, and you're gonna do one for your birthday, and Emily probably do one for her birthday, and then Luis doing for his birthday, and then might as well do the whole thing. If you guys don't follow, I think some of our listeners follow me on Instagram, but I've been posting like every time we're rewatching the movies, but in number order. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We watched 7 yesterday.
We watched Rogue One.
We
watched
did
Solo.
Rogue, Solo, and so I just got 8 and 9 left.
Yep. And then I guess
Then I might go
Mandalorian
into
or
something else.
one of the cartoons. Who knows? But next week,
Who knows?
we are watching the 1980 live-action Lucasfilm film, The Empire Strikes Back.
It strikes back.
Star Wars Episode 5.
The
Empire
one
Strikes Back.
that shook the world.
We got cliffhangers
It
for days
shooketh
next week.
The
y'all.
world.
So,
No cliffhangers.
well, I guess, yeah, it's
You
probably
can
not,
watch the
not
next
a
one.
cliffhanger anymore, but it was definitely
Maybe
a
in
cliffhanger
80
at
it
the time.
was.
I know we were watching. What were we watching? Oh, we were watching that show Chef, but it was the one where Jean Favreau and they went to Lucas Ranch.
Right.
And they were like cooking there because it was like an organic farm or whatever. And it was the other guy that did that Mandalorian episode with the glasses.
With the glasses.
Not the one that wears the cowboy hat.
Oh,
The
dear.
one that wears
Not
a weird
Dave
hat.
Filoni.
Not Dave Filoni. He was making the pizza in the oven.
It was the guy who is Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez.
Guy who directed Spy Kids.
And he was like, when I saw that
Yeah.
movie and he was in Carbonite for a lot of years for me, okay, I didn't know if he was going to come out. And I was like, but he came out. And I was like thinking, though, like, oh, I could just watch him. Like, people must have been like, ah.
It was a hard 3 years between 80 and 83.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Marvel movies.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the anticipation was palpable.
Well,
So,
yeah, think about what it felt like between Infinity War and
Right.
Endgame. It was like,
Mhm.
oh my
it's the
god.
same
I
thing.
have to wait. This
and
is
between
why
Endgame and now, it's
I
like,
don't.
Between
This is
Pirates 2
why
and Pirates 3.
I don't like
up.
starting TV shows that aren't already done.
yeah, you're becoming Louise.
Yeah. Binge only.
Stop.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Walt Vault. If you want to, what's up? Oh, I did have an email to read.
Yeah,
I
do you
think.
want to? Do you want to read this?
Sure.
Oh no, not
I'll
the
read it.
aggressive
I'll read it.
email.
So I'm just gonna throw
Is
it
it
out there,
passive
like,
aggressive or just aggressive?
No,
I mean, I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
it's not passive.
It's
Yeah,
quite
it's,
aggressive. Like, dude,
um,
we
so,
say to send emails, but like, whoa.
yeah, this. I literally asked for this.
I read it in all caps in my head. Okay.
Mr. Lachlan wrote in to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com, which you can also do. His email is titled Podcast Incredibles 2. He says, to the Walt Vault, as you know, The Incredibles 2 has come out, so what is stopping you from doing a Quarantine Incredibles 2 podcast? And it has been 3 years since you have made the podcast talking about The Incredibles movie. I was like, whoa. Sorry, dog.
I thought we already did it.
Okay, stop.
I have
Stop.
this issue.
Stop. Andre texts us in our group text at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I got this at like 3 a.m. and we're reading it and I'm laughing. And then he goes, and Michelle is like betting $10,000 more that we already did this movie. And I'm like,
I could have sworn we done it.
it sounds in my head like we did it, but we
Bet.
really haven't done it. Incredibles 2.
Bet.
Bet.
But shut up. But honestly, there's so many Pixar
Sequels.
that we haven't done yet.
Right.
Well, and
And I think
And
it's
I-
like at first we were keeping them. Like
Yeah.
maybe it would
Right.
be good.
well, and I told Emily I don't usually watch Disney movies now unless it's for the podcast. And I was like, I rewatched Incredibles 2 literally a week ago when I was cleaning the house. I just put it on in the background and I was like, wow, this movie's still really good. And I was like, oh, I haven't watched this since we did it for the podcast. No, I guess we haven't done it for the podcast.
No, you haven't watched it since we watched it.
So you know what, sir? He has a good point. We could do it.
We will do it.
We don't know when, though.
Don't know when. It's not on the immediate docket.
But I did just watch it, so we could do it.
Right. We'll get to it, Lachlan. Give us a second. Goodness gracious, buddy. He said 3 years since you talked about The Incredibles 1, but like The
3.
Incredibles 2
Wait,
definitely
wait.
hasn't been out for 3
Wait,
years.
do it like the SpongeBob thing. 3
3
years later.
Yes, later. They still haven't done The Incredibles 2 podcast.
Edna mode.
mode.
No capes.
I'm not mad about it, but also I feel like he's mad about it.
Oh well, yeah. So
Hey, he's being nicer than Chicken Little Guy.
if
Okay.
you've got major complaints about us, you can write in to contact at thewaltvaultpod.com.
Cheetah Chicken. It was Cheetah Chicken.
I will appreciate your
But we
your
love you
feedback
guys, so
and,
yes, we love feedback,
only
and
roast you a
honestly,
little bit on
those
the
emails
show.
make our day.
yes. So,
So.
please keep writing in.
Keep
Please,
it coming.
Please let us know what movies you want us to watch. We do appreciate
ask us nicely.
all of your suggestions.
Ask us nicely.
What is stopping you from doing it? I want to know.
Myself.
Nothing, dog. We like to
It was
jump around.
Thanos.
homie.
He snapped it away. Okay, I can't control it.
If you also want to support us, you can click subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. That's very helpful. Subscribe, rate, review, do all of them tings. And
All the tings.
all of the tings. And please hit up our Patreon. That's patreon.com/The Walt Vault. And for only $1, you can get access to all of our extra content. Lou? Hit a grumbly.
Craving a
Stop.
Carl's Jr. Big Burger with bacon.
All right.
Now.
Enough.
This is what he stopped me for.
Every time Luis craves Carl's Jr., it's for real, dude. I bought you that sandwich one time.
The cravings are hard, you know?
Michael Giacchino.
Bet.
Indeed. All right, you guys, that's been it for this week. We will see you next time for some Darth Vader goodness. The vault is now closed.